Welcome to this live stream talking about uMoya. In South Africa, we talk about the soul or the spirit, and that's connected to God. So the most important thing for each human being is to connect to the spirit inside of them. So the focus of these live streams on Facebook and YouTube is to help people develop a practice of connecting to their spirit, to their soul, and also helping people to connect to nature. So as people lose contact with themselves, then they lose contact with nature. So the animal world is looking at us. Animal world is looking at us, and we have to learn that the world outside of us is alive. We have responsibilities as human beings to connect more deeply with our soul, with our uMoya, and to help the animal world. So the focus of this live stream is to bring a little bit more perspective in, and the perspective of the animal and plant worlds. So Sangoma in South Africa is an African shaman, and I'm known as a Sangoma, and it comes from the Nguni word Sangoma, which means people of the song, people of the chant. So let me talk to you a little bit about Sangoma and the African shamans from Southern Africa and how it relates to uMoya, the spirit of life, and how it relates to the animal and plant worlds. So traditionally the focus of the Sangoma's world was living in very close proximity to the animal and plant kingdom. And the job of the Sangoma in the community was to dream and connect with the animal and plant worlds and create harmony and balance. So with that harmony and balance, then there's a better future for everyone. So nowadays, the world of the Sangoma has been lost, has been forgotten. However, there's still small pockets of Sangoma activity happening in Southern Africa, and the job is the same as it ever was, and that is to help people connect with the animal and plant worlds and also help people connect to their soul, their uMoya. So traditionally in the past, like I say, the Sangoma in a community would dream about the animal and plant worlds and then come back into their community and say, we need to be careful because the lion spirit came to me last night and we have to be careful not to kill the lion. Or the elephant spirit came to me last night and said, we need to be careful that we are moving too much into their territory. So because of colonialism and the terrible onslaught that brought colonialism, which was the degradation of culture, the Sangoma's job of helping to protect the wilderness went. And because of misunderstanding, because of not understanding the cultural ways and the spiritual ways of the Sangoma, and now the animal and plant worlds are open to abuse and open to poaching. So how can we bring back this old knowledge? How can we fire ourselves up in a way that spreads light not just on the human world, but also on the animal and plant worlds? Well, it starts off with that intention inside of us, and it also starts off with us connecting more deeply to our uMoya, to the spirit inside of us. So that's the focus of this uMoya hour. That's the focus of these live streams, is to talk about the importance of every human being every human being has an important job to connect to their soul, to connect to their spirit, so that we can help nature and help this world. So we always have to remember that the animal and plant worlds are alive, that the animals are watching us, and we need to take responsibility for our actions. And the first action we should make is to wake up and connect to the phoenix inside of us, to the spirit inside of us. So I'm going to do a little bit of guided meditations during these live streams and play my drum and sing and chant. And I invite you to join me in your own way, wherever you are, to listen to your own heartbeat, to feel your connection with nature and the natural world. And as we do that, we can heal this world together. We can heal what's happening right now in Africa in terms of poaching, what's happening in other places around the world where the animals are being decimated. They're being decimated because of the ignorance of man, and man is ignorant because man is asleep. So what we need to do is wake up. And the journey of waking up starts with us activating our hearts and activating the energy inside of us. So the way we do that in the African traditions in Southern Africa is through chanting and through drumming and through singing. So let's do this together. Let me start off with a guided meditation in honor of the elephant people. Okay, so wherever you are, drop back, feel your heartbeat, and close your eyes. And meditate not just for yourself. Meditate for the animals that are suffering all around us. Concentrate not just for yourself, but for the animals outside that are suffering. Don't think, what can I get from this spiritual practice? But think, what can I give to the world and to the suffering around me? Okay. So drop in, feel your heartbeat, and just feel that gentle pulse inside of you. Feel that gentle pulse. It's nice to see some of you signing in. Thank you. I can't speak to you right now. Just join me with this guided meditation. Yeah, my love. Yeah, my love. Yeah, my love. I'd like to dedicate this song to the sangomas in Southern Africa who have been so misunderstood by the world, by the early missionaries, through colonization, through other things. The sangomas have been so misunderstood. We need to forgive the early missionaries for their misunderstanding that the sangomas do know God. And we honor our ancestors. We don't worship them. So we need to forgive the early colonizers for the mistakes they made and the ignorance that's been spread about Africa and African sangomas, African healers, African shamans. And this is the way we can start healing this world and healing the plant world and the animal world. Feel your heartbeats. Feel feel the spirit inside of you. Yeah, Malawambo. Yeah, Malawambo. You, yeah, Malawam. Yeah, Malawambo. Yeah, Malawambo. Yeah, yeah, Malawambo. Yeah, Malawambo. Yeah, Malawam. Yeah, Malawamu. Yeah, Malawamu. You, yeah, Malawamu. Yeah, I'm a young game, young game, I'm a young game, young game, I'm a young game, young game. Yeah, I'm a young game, young game, young game, young game, young game. Hey, I'm a young game, hey, I'm a young game. Hey, I'm a young game, hey, I'm a young game. Hey, I'm a young game, hey, I'm a young game. I'd like to send a prayer to all my Sangoma elders in South Africa who've been suffering terribly right now because of the COVID virus. And I'd like to send a message also to our animal and plant friends, in particular the elephant, and ask our ancestors and the great ones to help us do a better job in serving this world and serving this planet. So each one of us is responsible for what's happening in the world right now. Because we speak in the old ways, we speak about Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Southern African word, and it talks about a circle of man. And the first job of Ubuntu is for people to connect to their own heart, their own soul. And the next is we turn to our left and we turn to our right and we connect with our bone people, our ancestors, those people who have created us. And we honor them. We don't worship them as the early missionaries thought. We honor them and we give them reverence because they are people, they are our family. And we thank them for the gift of life. And then the next thing, we turn upwards and we honor the Great Spirit, Kamata, Utiko. And we give thanks for the breath of life that is touching us. And then as we do that, we connect to the animal and plant worlds outside of us. So shamanism, in particular Southern African shamanism, is all about relationship and relationships. And the first relationship we have is with ourselves. And if that relationship is off, then everything is going to be out of balance, like a bad song, like a bad vibration. So the focus of these live streams is to help people come back into balance with your own uMoya, with your own spirit, with your own soul. And know that when you are connected to the spirit inside of you, that this is the first step to healing this world. And it's not a narcissistic exercise. It's not about I, my, me. It's just simply feeling the spirit inside of you like a breath of wind, feeling it with integrity, with courage, and with love. So that's the focus of this work, but also knowing that as we do this, we are also doing it on behalf of our animal friends because they are watching us. Like I've said before, the animals are watching us. And what are we going to do? How are we going to respond with dignity? So let me do a little bit more drumming. I've changed my drumsticks and I'm upping the tempo of the drumming. And I'm upping the tempo for one reason: for you to feel your heartbeat. So if you can't feel your heartbeat, don't worry. Don't beat yourself up. That's not what this work is about. I'd like you to place your hand on your heart right now. Wherever you are in the world, place your hand on your heart right now. Then close your eyes. Take a breath in and breathe out. What you have right there is a drum. That's your own drum. And if you're out of rhythm with the drum in your chest, everything else is going to be out of rhythm. But when you become and you move into rhythm with the drum inside of you, then magic can happen. Not just for you, but magic can happen all around you. You'll be emanating magic, helping this world. So that's our responsibility as human beings, is to connect with our heart and our soul and then help this world. Because a human being, the default of a human being is an empathic, sensitive creature that is a guardian of this world. So feeling your heartbeat, breathing in, breathing out, slow down. Slow down in order to speed up spiritually. Take a breath in, energize your heart. That's good. Keep going. Keep going, breathing into your heart. That's good. Now I'm bringing the drum in, and I want you to carry on feeling your heartbeat as I bring the drum in. Yeah, Feel your heartbeat. Breathe into your heart. Allow the spirit of the drum to energize your heart and spirit. Allow the spirit of the drum to energize your soul. feel the vibration in your own heart, in your own chest. Feel that vibration. Now the next thing is breathing it into you, breathing in that vibration of aliveness. And being aware of your feelings, but don't make your feelings the master. It's okay to feel uncomfortable when you start to feel, because empathy means to feel. And sometimes when we start to feel and we start to wake up, some of the things we feel are not so good. We feel maybe depressed or upset. We feel the suffering of others. This is all about waking up. So don't worry about that. Just go back to the feeling, go back to the heartbeat, go back to the breath. And then the next thing, like I said in the beginning, the animals are watching us. What are we going to do? So it's always good with spiritual practice to bring devotion in. So we're not doing it just for ourselves, but we're doing it for others. So going outside and putting out some bird seed for the birds and doing it with a sense of blessing in your heart. Blessing. Just a small action with blessing can turn one drop of water into a healing potion. One action with blessing can turn one drop of water into a healing and into a blessing. So going outside, making an offering to the bird people, giving them some seed or giving them some water or putting some cotton wool out for them because it's cold and they can lie in their nests with the cotton wool in the winter. All of this is sending a blessing into the animal kingdom. And then what happens then? What happens then is the animals come closer. The animals come closer because they feel that a human being is taking notice of them and they feel loved. They feel loved. So one of the greatest energies in the world is the power of love. And what is love but that ability to give with an open heart, not for what you're going to get back, but just to give. To give with an open heart is to give blessings into the world. And right now, the animal world is suffering terribly, much more than the human world. So we heal ourselves through listening to our own heartbeats and our own rhythm. And then we go outside and we make an offering to the animal world. If you're feeling called, I'm not telling you what to do, of course. I'm saying this is a good idea to do because in the next thing, your own practice, something starts happening. Something starts happening. So if you're just sitting on your cushion and you're doing chants or mantras and you're just thinking about yourself and my own progress and my own body and whether I'm losing weight or not, and you're just thinking of yourself, that's a very limited practice. And then you're going to go into your own mind and look at your neuroses and look at your problems. And, after a while, it just gets boring. But the practice of going outside and looking at the plant world and the animal world and making an offering and doing something that starts to bring some kind of dynamism into the practice, starts to bring some kind of energy. So this is what I'm encouraging and this is what I'm teaching. But the first movement is the movement of connecting with your own uMoya, with your own spirit. And we do it through the chants and we do it through the drum in South Africa. So wherever you are, if you don't have a drum and you don't have chants, don't worry. you've got your own heartbeat, which is the greatest drum in the world. So you just take your hand, place your hand on your heart, and just breathe in and out. And know that we are all connected. The plant and animal worlds and the human world, we are all connected. And as you have an intention of helping the world, as you have that intention, something starts to change. So we can't do anything about history. You know, the history of colonialism in Africa has been terrible. I can't lie about that. It's the truth. We all know that it's been absolutely horrendous, absolutely terrible. But what we can do, we can help heal the past. And we help heal the past by sending blessings and prayers on those who have been mistreated, and changing our behavior, and creating more information and more openness, more understanding and more love about other cultures. That's how we help heal the past. So the Sangoma was known as a witch doctor by the early missionaries, which is not actually a bad word because they saw them doctoring the effects of negativity. So they call them witch doctors. But then there was a lot of derogatory energy and talk and speech that went on for about 300 years. And part of my work is to say, stop. A lot of that is not true. A lot of that is superstitious, nonsense, and miseducation. The Sangoma's job is to help balance the spirit world with the human world, with the animal and plant worlds. And we do that through the spirit of chanting, with prayer, dancing, rhythm. And that's how we do it. And that's part of what I'm doing with you, all of you, wherever you are in the world. So I thank you for signing in for my first live stream. It was a bit shaky in the beginning because of microphone issues. So please excuse us for that. And sign up for my newsletter, and check me out on Facebook, and check out this YouTube link as well. And I'm going to be letting you know about my next live stream. I'm hoping to do them regularly with a slightly different theme each time. And so just keep your eyes open for that. This was an introduction. Today is an introduction about the work. And the work is to help you and me connect with our soul, with our hearts. And then the next movement is walking outside and helping nature. uMoya, again, the word uMoya means, it's a Xhosa and Zulu word, and it means spirit. It means wind. So we see the wind of life coming through us and igniting us. And that means uMoya, that means spirit. And the job of each human being is to connect with their uMoya, with their spirit. So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you, some of these ancient teachings from my home, from South Africa, and playing my drum and playing some music and doing some chanting, and hoping that it will ignite you wherever you are and help to inspire you to connect more deeply with your own spirit and also with the spirit of nature. So thank you for joining me, and like I said, like me on Facebook, on YouTube, sign up for my newsletter, and do all these things if you feel called and if you want to know when the next live stream is going to take part. Okay? So thank you all. Thank you. From my heart to yours, thank you.